here we are. This is Sex Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat. Bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more.
The thing with you though, Kimi, because I've seen you teach too. I've been in spaces where you were teaching. You are incredible at attunement. And not everybody has the skill for attunement, and they think that they are. Where it's more projection, or what you're saying, like leading with an agenda. And how important, checking ourselves and doing our inner work of what is coming up inside of us to want to push through what we're seeing in front of us that's not matching, our agenda, or what disappointment or what fear or what shame is coming up because the other person isn't surrendering to do what we want them to do.
Oh my God. I see it happen all the time. I mean, I was working with this couple who they wanted to get kinky in the bedroom, and they wanted, especially there was a husband and wife, and she really wanted her husband to dominate her. Like they both owned businesses. She always felt like she was calling the shots. She was like, I need to surrender. I need him to step up, basically her words. He needs to step up. He needs to dominate me. Like I'm exhausted, and he's just sort of left being like, well, I don't really know what to do. Like, let's try some things out. And I remember we had her on the spanking bench, and he was spanking her, and she's, sort of starts interjecting, and she's like, oh, can you slow it down? It's going too fast. Oh, can you make it harder? I can barely feel it. Actually, move your hand up a bit more. It'd be really good if you pulled my hair also. And she just keeps kind of going and going. And I kind of have a smirk on my face, and he's just getting completely flustered and overwhelmed and frustrated. So I call a timeout, and I'm like, what's going on with you, to the man? And he's like, I feel like this is what happens. She says she wants me to be in charge and to dom her, but then she, tells me what to do. And how does that work if she's supposed to surrender, but she's telling me what to do, and I'm just doing what she says to do? Like, that doesn't seem like it's working. And she's like, well, yeah, because I have to tell you, you don't know what's going on with me. And I'm like, okay, listen, guys, let's take a deep breath and let's go back to intention, because the intention is actually the most important part of you guys playing together. So what's the intention? What's the intention here? If it's to get it right, no wonder you're getting frustrated. Because that shit's going to be really limiting. If your intention is to get it right, be perfect, and even, goddamn it, blow her mind, that is not a good starting point. So what's the intention? And he's like, to just, be present and to learn and to grow and to have fun. And I'm like, okay, are you doing that, do you think? And he's like, no. And I'm like, do you know why? And he's like, no. And I'm like, because it's your ego's getting in the way, babe. Like, you can only be in Eros or ego. You can't be in both at the same time. So if that's the case, and you're thinking about, getting it perfect and doing it right and all of that, how do we get you out of that? Because all you just need to do is show up with what is. So she's giving you feedback. You're holding the space. You're starting to get frustrated. It's not feeling like it's connective. There are hundreds of options to meet this so-called problem that you're facing. What are some other options? Because right now you're just getting upset, and your ego's getting bruised. And he's like, well, I guess I could have called the timeout and said hey, can we talk? Because this isn't feeling great. I feel like we're in a power struggle. I'm like, yeah, sure. You could have done that. You could have said hey, I need to talk. Let's call a timeout. Let's talk it out. What else could you do? Because what I'm seeing you could do, could have been a lot of different things. You could have been like, oh, wow, my goodness, you have a lot to say. Well, why don't we just pause for a second? Let me actually come around so I could look you in the eyes. Why don't you tell me everything, my sweet one? Tell me all the things you need to say. Just say everything. And I'm going to listen. But when you're done, you're going to put your fucking head down. You're going to take a deep breath, and you're going to let go. And you're going to trust that I've got you. Do you agree or not? And see, and she's like, ooh, oh, I kind of like that, And she's like, that sounds fun. And he's like, yeah, I guess I could have stuck something in her mouth. Also, I could have been like, oh, you have a lot to say. Why don't you open your mouth and I don't want to hear anymore. I'm like, that's true. Like there's literally unlimited things. And I'm like, oh, you could have just kept spanking her and say, okay, yeah, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just know that, after a certain point, she's going to exhaust herself, and just remember that the idea is like, you don't need her to influence your leadership in the sense of like, you don't need her to show up in a certain way. You just need her to be her, and you need to be you. Like, it's that simple. Like, it's literally that simple. I have doms say like, sometimes I don't know what to do. I'm like, why don't you just say that? Why don't you say to your sub or your partner, like, I don't really know what to do with you right now. So I'm just going to sit here for a moment and look at you and just take you in and just breathe. Maybe you could inspire me, actually. Maybe you could actually start moving your body. Let me see you move your body. Let me see you move your hair. Maybe I'll watch you touch yourself. You'll start to notice, like, I'm just going to be really real. Like, I'm really going to be honest because I feel confident in being in the truth and being in reality with you. It's so funny because Tantra has some interesting things to say about fantasy. Tantra talks about fantasy being a block to true, intimacy.
Embodiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're noticing some fantasies and desires and things come up, we get curious around what is the needs that it's meeting, because it's just a strategy. So it's all just a strategy. So getting curious around, like, what is she needing? I have all of these strategy points of doing this, and so does she. What's our highest potential here? And that's where we get evolution, and we don't get trapped into it looking a certain way or having to be a certain way. And then we get to play in this whole playground of possibility, where novelty is natural, passion is abundant, and couples don't have to stay stagnant in a certain dynamic. They can actually like continue to flourish and evolve, and then say like, oh, how do we bring this into other parts of our relationship and life so that it also stays vibrant and beautiful and sexy as well. Like, all of this is just practice and playing ground for people who want to explore.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex Love Psychedelics.